guys, we're going to zip through this. I think you get this now. Here's my sort of 30-40 seconds on the archetypes. Starting top left, this is probably the most important slide in the whole deck. I'm going to go through the 4 archetypes. I think you sort of get it because I've explained this, but these are so important. Chess players, top left. This is me, by the way. This is me, 8 out of 12. These are people who have to create. It's in their blood. Like if you put them in a role where they aren't able to bring their creativity to the game, they're going to feel as though that you're putting handcuffs on them and you're really sort of shackling their development. They are very comfortable with ambiguity. They like to make connections between disparate concepts, and they are really easygoing people quite generally, right? And they're open to new ideas. You know, they're open to brainstorming. If you want to win a chess player over in your team, now please, most of us work in teams and in groups, or we interact with people anyway. Please have a think about who you can assign one of these archetypes to. Just have that person's head sort of face in your mind. But chess players really do value going up to them saying, Sonny, if someone came up to me and said, Sonny, can I just bounce a few ideas off you? That would be the most amazing thing. I'd love to be able to, genuinely, I'd love to do that. Now, chess players are diametrically opposed to the archers. Now, my ex was, as Ali will know really well, my ex was an archer. Like, again, these are all strengths. So while from my perspective, what the strengths that she would bring to the table, I didn't really value them, but from her perspective, they are super strengths. The archers, this is the role that Fiza was playing, they come with planning and they want to get things done perfectly. They create to-do lists. So when I was talking at a very high level, sometimes my ex would talk at a very detailed level about things. So she would always pull me down. Now, in a work context, you might be thinking of what your plan is for the next 6 months or 12 months. The archers internally will be thinking, wait a minute, but how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? What about this? What about that? And they almost get distracted from that high level thinking. This is a clash that happens all the time in corporates, all the time. Typically, your finance people, Lice, I imagine a lot of the people you work with will be in that sort of archer archetype, where they just have a certain way of doing things. And they'll find it really frustrating if you just talk in esoteric, ethereal, pie in the sky concepts. They'll be like, well, what the hell are you on about? Like, make it real for me. Give me some numbers. So they come with numbers. Again, really important people to have in your team as a blend, as Lysa said at the start. I'll just talk a little bit, and I want some thoughts from you guys. A boxer, top right. Now the boxers are probably thinking, amongst you, you're probably not saying it, right? But you're probably thinking, just get on with it, Sonny, right? You know, let's move at a certain pace. And so the boxers, they want to get things done fast. When I talk to boxers, I write in bullet points. And one of the hints I learned, because I've done this session like 100 times, was when you write to a boxer, write in the length of an iPhone screen, so that the whole email fits into an iPhone screen. If it's longer than an iPhone screen, they're not going to read your message. I'm talking slightly facetiously and slightly flippantly, but with boxers, get to the point. Talk in bullet points, keep it short, sharp, and simple, a bit like I'm talking now. Have pauses in between, but talk at a certain speed as well. And now, as you probably imagine, the boxers are diametrically opposed to the rowers, bottom left. The rowers are your people. Hanan, I know you're a row. I could have predicted that from your scores. They have got an enormous amount of empathy. They are super empathetic. They understand how you're feeling. They'll ask you how your children are. They'll ask you how your weekend was. They'll want to know how your family is, how your pets are. But to a boxer, that'll be, wait a minute, I want to get on with my work, right? So these clashes happen. And now I know you've done a quick 12-minute survey, a 4-minute survey of 12 questions, and you loosely, everyone in this room will be able to go across all 4 archetypes, but you'll spike in one area and you'll typically follow an arc of them. So, you know, again, Ali, I know you're quite a strong boxer, chess player, and archer, but you've obviously got rower skills as well, because, you know, your leadership roles, you know, you manage your teams. So you tend to spike in one area and then you tend to arc in the other. And there's usually one weak spot. If you've got the ability to come up with ideas, chess player, get shit done, the boxer, do it in a level of detail which is extraordinary, the archer, and you've got people skills, then you're a massive high performer. Massive high performer. If someone can put their hand up right now and say they think they can smash all 4 corners, then that's really impressive. I'm very weak on the archer, as anyone who knows me will tell me. I'm always making mistakes and I haven't got the attention to detail. It's my weakness. But again, someone like Ali, yourself, or Lysander in the area that you work, you've got to get your numbers right? So you need these people in your group. Any sort of additional thoughts on the framework? Because we'll be referring to these for quite a while now.
Yeah, so it was just a comment I was going to make. Something you said earlier about these are all strengths. And I think when you did this session with my team at Amazon, and I asked people afterwards about how they're going to use this, I think that was
Yeah.
probably the biggest comment, was that they had done many of these types of personality profiling things before, but always gone away with a kind of, there's a good one to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think the important thing is these are all strengths. And
Yeah.
once, you just said about good leaders going across all. Well, yeah, when you need to go into the details, you need to have that person in your team that you can trust to get those details right. So I think it's
Yeah.
important to recognize the sort of the importance of these being strengths, and that gets really missed sometimes on these types of things that I've done before.
Yeah, great point.
So I've got so my input to this is, what about the people who just seem to talk a lot but don't actually sort of say anything?
That's like a fifth annoying category, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to think. Do they come into a category? Probably not. They just
Well, people who talk a lot, lies. Who the hell are they?
they're just ineffective. No, but I'm just thinking about 3 hours of meetings today where literally people were just, it was sort of monologues for 50 minutes, and then it was like, right, Alexander, have you got anything? And I felt like I could really sort of just convey my point within a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
How would this sort of make people reflect? Hang on, am I doing something wrong? How would this make people reflect? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, 100% lights. Like, so I, in my meetings, as I said at the start of this one, I don't know if you joined it, but I said that I want us to go at a certain pace in the meeting. I don't want us to have long monologues. I want us to be able to keep it quiet. Now, that's me being a little bit greedy, because that's the pace I like to operate. You know, there are other archers and rowers here who might want to slow things down. Now, I'll try to adapt my style. But lights, that sort of meeting, you've got to be able to have the difficult conversation with the people and say, can we operate at a certain pace? Can we go boxer mode? And lights, I've literally done that in meetings, where I've gone, guys, we're going to put our boxer hat on. We're not going to have an hour-long meeting. We're going to do this in 15 minutes. Genuinely, we'll do the hour in 15 minutes at boxer mode. Get to the point. And if you think I'm waffling, cut me up. But you've got to be able to set the precedent to be able to do that, Lice, right from the start.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're exactly right. But the problem is sometimes you get into it, and what I just tend to do, I just say, look, I've got to go. It's probably a weak way out. I'm honest.
Yeah, let me get my sort of 2 pence. Yeah, it's because they should know that you're a boxer. Well, now you will go to your results in a little while, mate. I knew you're a boxer. I can tell. I've known you since '97, right? '96, '97. So it's a no-brainer. Look, really good. We've got lots of other times to sort of zip through this. But look, a few quotes that I pulled out from.
Sorry, Sunny, Gabrielle has a question.
Oh, sorry, Gabri, go for it.
One thing. So obviously there are different 4 archetypes as you've identified, right? And each one of us has them. Like, one of my main challenge is that is the context switch from one to the other. So for example, if I'm going into a sales meeting, I'm being a very empathetic chess player thinking about what I'm doing. But then if I have to do, I don't know, a technical spec, then I need to be an archer. And
perfect.
The thing I struggle with is the time it gets to go from one to the other, above all when you are in the flow of your working day. Like, how have you got any experience?
So Gabby, really simple answer to that is I've had meetings where we said we got an hour. I'm saying, can we do it in 30 minutes? Number one. So I'll have that difficult BC brutal conversation at the start, and then if we can't, they stick to an hour. I say, right, we'll spend the first half hour operating at that. Have you heard of the double diamond theory, for example? Right, double diamond sort of design theory that happens that you open up your thinking really broad, and then you make it really narrow, then you make it broad and narrow again. Yeah, it's worth just noting it down and having a look. It's called the double diamond theory. And so I go chess player, which is my broadening things out. Let's go really creative. Let's go wide open with what the options are. And then, like you were just saying, the last half hour, we're going to operate at boxer mode. Where Dream Team is really powerful, and hopefully Ali can vouchsafe this because we ran this with about 40 members of his Amazon team, is that it gives people a language to be able to change their behaviors. It's not a carte blanche to be able to be rude and aggressive as a boxer, and I'd never want to be that, but it does give me a carte blanche to operate at a certain speed, a certain velocity, and a certain level of energy, which I think is really important in teams, because otherwise you end up, what happens with Lice is probably you joined this call after a whole monologues of calls. I could see it in your body language, mate, when you joined the call, Lice, right? That if you've been in those type of meetings, it's draining because you're not operating at my speed. Lice will know this. When I used to play football, I couldn't run at a slow pace. It would actually make me more tired to run at a slow pace and not to run at my pace, which I'm really comfortable. But that's not everyone's pace. I totally get that. So, Gabri, to answer your question, I would use the language around, look, can we go chess player to start off with? And then can we go boxer? And if we need to, let's go into the archer details, but use that language as we go through. Guys, I'm just conscious of time. If there are any questions, honestly, just interrupt me.
So first got hand ups. Do you see the hands up on the video?
No, I don't. If
no, on presenter mode.
Yeah, I can't see it. Just guys, no need to put your hand up. Just interrupt me mid-flow.
I was just quickly going to say, Sunny, that I took the survey in March, and in March I got an equal number of, I think it was like 333 for each of the archetypes. But today I retook the test, and it seems like I'm a boxer. So what do you say? Is it like the mood of the day?
No. Yeah, I think Safa, I think basically you didn't do the survey properly last time, and you just clicked randomly on. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Yeah, look, it shouldn't really shift a lot, to be honest. But you do go across all four. I've seen a slightly direct side to you. I've seen the creative side to you. You've obviously got brilliant people skills, like very good people skills, and you are very, like, me and you would not have a good relationship together. Like, you're very detailed about the archer, right? So let's be really honest about that. So and that's the language. That's the honesty that you can have with people, that you do go into a lot of detail for me, which is your strength, which is genuinely your strength, right? And I have to accept that, even though it's sort of frustrating sort of archetype for me. But we'll get back to that point. Look, guys, if I'm ever dismissive about the archers, I'm not. I can share a few very important stories about how important the archers are. Just zipping through these examples, because you know I do a lot of reading. Ed Catmull, Pixar, guys. If you want to read a business book, read Pixar by Ed Catmull. It's the way the people interact. I know you can all read this. Getting the people right and the right chemistry is more important than getting the right idea. And that's a massive statement. That's a massive statement. So, Lice, back to your point, getting the right blend of people is critical. Inayat Khan is a sort of a Indian subcontinent philosopher. Love this, right? So he's a musician as well. So he talks about harmonizing people instead of notes. And then that last line, that one must put oneself in harmony with oneself and with one others. It's philosophically, I think that's so important. Do we not need this badly in the world right now? Right? We need to live in harmony, and Dream Team is a microcosm of what could potentially solve some of the macrocosmic problems that we're seeing in the world. If we could all just understand we've got different styles. Lice, this is sort of your slide that we were talking about, Pele talking, right? There's a whole variety of players, but actually we want to build that variety, and each has got their own strengths. Again, apologies, using lots of football analogies. A team of 11 Messis would not be the 11 current team of Argentina with a single Messi in it. It just wouldn't. A team of 11 Ronaldos would not beat the Portugal team. You've got to have a variety of players that sort of work well together. And then to continue that theme, who here does not know Brian Clough? Just put your real hands up. I'm gonna put Lysander on the slide. Lice, Brian Clough, talk to me.
He's probably a bit of a boxer, wasn't he?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, probably one of the most direct managers of all time, but very successful. Back in the 80s, 90s, was it?
Yeah, and talk to me about what he did in terms of how he got the team promoted and stuff.
Oh, crikey!
I'll let you off. Ali, go on. I know you know this.
Yeah, he basically took them from what I think was the old. It would have been the old, third in those days was just Div 1, Div 2, Div 3, wasn't it? So he took them from 3 to 2 to 1 to winning that, and then winning essentially the version of Champions League, highest European you can win, all in the space of 4 or 5 years. He did that, didn't he?
Perfect summary. Thank you, Ellie. Brian Clough, for me, is the best manager he goes across absolutely everything, and I'll tell you why I say that, because if you can give me the name of a manager who's got a team from, as Ali said, from third to second to first, winning the first and winning the Champions League twice in a row, I'm willing to hear it. And he did it, I believe, because of his concept of Dream Team. He would adapt his style to one another. I know who needs lifting. I know who needs his ass kicked. I know who needs to be left alone to get on with it. he would basically adapt across all four archetypes. All the best managers, Sir Alex Ferguson, all the other ones, they have this ability to be able to adapt their style to one another. Do not have a whitewashed approach for your whole team. And then Mourinho, again, a really good example of this. Maybe didn't do it as well as at Tottenham, but he's able to organize players and handle the team to find that chemistry. And if you're managing a team of people and you're not applying this sort of concept and able to adapt to those different archetypes and then get a right blend of that chemistry, at some point you'll get caught out.
Yeah.
Guys, I just want to keep it to pace. Again, please interrupt at any point, right? Someone asked me, this is a 10-second slide. I got the idea because I used to work for Gallup in 2005, and Gallup had 34 strengths. There were too many to remember. Honestly, I've got a bad memory. I can barely remember my top 5, and I just concatenated them into groups. So the ones you can see on the left, the strategic thinking ones, are the chess player, and the influencing ones are the boxer. The executing one are the archer, and the relationship ones, what they call relationship building, we call the rower. Bang. Done. Really simple. This is where this isn't something I've just made up. We studied this in Omaha, Nebraska in 2005. We were flown out there for 2 weeks to study strengths, and it stayed with me all that time. The raison d'etre for today, guys, we usually do this face to face in a room full of 50 people. The energy at this point is absolutely buzzing. And obviously, this is slightly it's slightly simplified over Teams, but the whole purpose of today is to understand your archetypal strengths, your arc, and then be able to adapt your style to different people. And that is it. They're the two key things. And again, 10-second slide. There's lots of other versions of this, as Ali said, out there. Loads of versions. You might have heard of MBTI or Discovery, the 4 colors. Where I think Dream Team is really different is that you don't get a wad of notes. You don't get a whole bunch of analysis afterwards. You don't have to read anything. If you haven't by this point understood the 4 archetypes and the power of it, you won't understand it, right? But by the end of the next hour that we've got, you will totally have understood what the concept is about. And it's a hugely powerful concept. And then very quickly, we're not trying to put you into a bucket. I'm a chess player. I can typically go into this direction, as I've already told you. I can box and I can row as a chess player, but that's my arc that I typically go into. That's my arc, right? What I'm not good at is the archer, as you know. I'm open to that, so I'll reveal that in my meetings with individuals. I'll be very vulnerable and state, look, I've got weak attention to detail. Can someone please cover that part of the report writing? But I'll give you the ideas behind it, and I'll really make sure that I can network it and spread it around the different parts of the organization. Right, that's the boxer and the rower coming in. And then similarly for the other archetypes, you get it, right? As a boxer, you typically go into that format, and then as the archer, it's like that, and then the rower, it's a bit like that, and then typically you have the ability to sort of go adjacent, but you typically don't go horizontal, diagonally across. Is anyone here who thinks they're very strong as a chess player and very strong as an archer, or very strong as a boxer and very strong as a rower? Yeah, good. It'd be quite schizophrenic if you were. Right, it really would be. It really would be schizophrenic if you were. So I'm glad no one put their hands up. Right, the big reveal. We're going to look at the results, and hopefully we can go off mute and have a discussion, guys. 4-minute survey that you did. Here we go, chess players. So yeah, let's go through this. Spend a bit of time here now, guys. So I scored as an 8 for a chess player and 4 for a boxer. Spot on. I want to create ideas. I want to concatenate disparate ideas and concepts and bring them together. What happens if you mix a mosquito with an elephant? What happens if I take the leadership workshop that I'm doing in this part of the business, but merge it to a completely different part of the business at Shell that don't even need, like, what if is a big question that comes in my mind. But actually the ability to get things done and operate at a certain pace is really important to me. I have to, if someone just gets an idea and doesn't implement it quickly, it sort of bores me a little bit. That's not the best technique. I get that totally. I totally understand that. But actually the ability to have the idea, make the mistakes and learn from them is really, really, really critical. Let's go to and you've
Yeah.
got to workshop what your results were. But we can't really do that, which is a shame. But
Yeah, no, I think it's quite accurate. I think the chess player and boxer is, quite a good representation. I used to be very, very, very archer in the
technical. I was going to
past.
say that. Yeah.
Like when I was between 15 and 22, I was reading, computer science manuals and doing things. But what happens is that I think that you tend to evolve from the archer to the more, general overview kind of thing, and then it becomes very tiring and difficult to go back to the other mindset.
Yeah, Gabby, just really interruption. That's a great point. Typically, and this isn't general, typically you go from the bottom element characteristics, the rower and the archer, and you evolve into a chess player or a boxer. Typically. But I've got lots of stories where senior partners have gone the other way and actually gone towards the rower, which we'll go into. Senior partners from PwC's and Deloitte's, some of the top ones, have got the best rower skills I've ever seen on any human being. I'm like, wow, you are incredible. Sorry, Gabri, carry on.
No, I think that was the main. I think that was the main point. I think
Yeah, it's a really good blend, actually, and I know that from you, Gabby. I think I know you've got really good attention to detail, but your ability to come up with ideas and actually articulate yourself. I know we're operating at a certain pace, and I'm going to ask you to speed things up, go boxer mode with me. But I know you've got some incredible ideas, and you can articulate them very, very well as well, which is your chess player really in full action with boxer. Hanan, over to you. Interesting results. Thoughts and reflections from you, Hanan, and rest of the team as well.
Yeah, I did a similar method in the past in 2006, and I had it was about colors. I don't remember the name of the method, but it was similar like here when it comes to colors, and the strongest part was the rower, okay, the green one, the relationships and these things.
Which is very high, by the way. 5 for a rower is a very high score.
Yeah, but it fits. I believe that it is not. It shouldn't be 0 for the archer and 0 for the boxer. Maybe the test is not,
It's not perfect. It's 12 questions. It's not perfect. You can say that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I'm quite like you. I always dream about the changes, the huge changes, the strategies, and exactly as you said. Even my work is interconnected with my view of the world, with my family life, with my relationships, my friends. Everything is interconnected.
Connected. 100%. And we're going to go into a bit of body language and stuff, and I'm not going to psychoanalyze you, Hanan, because you're the psychologist, right? But have you noticed when you're thinking, your eyes go upwards? I've noticed it so many times. So when you have a thought, which is a classic chess player, and one of the things we're going to go into is, well, what's the purpose of this? When you walk out of this, can you just go up to people and give them the survey and then know how to? No, you're going to have to gauge from different subtle body language, eye language, which we'll go into. And I've spotted from the day one that you were a very strong rower and you had lots of ideas, and the way you look, you always look, I think, top left or top right, I can't remember what it is, when you're thinking, and it's very, very revealing. So yeah, I classic for me. Of course you've got good attention to detail, right? But your strength really is in that ability to connect disparate ideas. But also, I know you're a huge rower. To work with Neil, you have to be a massive rower and a lot of patience, as I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? So brilliant. Just thoughts from the rest of the group on Gabby's, mine, and Hanan's results. Anything else anyone wants to add?
I want to ask where are your results? They are not here.
Whose results?
Safa and Lysa.
Oh yeah, we're not bothered about them. They're not important. It's the next slide. They were just. I wouldn't just not include them. So these are the ones who predominantly chess players.
But I was gonna say, Gabriele, I would think like he would really be like more into details, the archer role, because I was trying to get like videos done with him, and he was really going into the details. No, we don't need to publish this now.
Oh no, that sounds so annoying.
And I was like, you know, let's do it. That's just the
No,
first
but
try.
I find you a real archer, Safa. That's
Well,
interesting.
my
But no,
experience
but
with Gabrielle on this particular thing, it has been very particular.
sounds like you were a bit annoyed at him, Safa. So that's fine. No,
I'm
I'm only,
over it now. I'm over it.
Very annoyed.
I'm winding you up. No, Gabby is definitely. I can see the archer in him, but he's also got that chess player. Lice, what were you going to say?
Yeah, so there was a bit of a surprise for me on your one, mate. I sort of get the boxer piece, and equally the chess player. You're very much sort of conceptual principles, sort of ideas, sort of type of guy. I was a bit surprised you didn't have any rower at all, if I'm honest.
Yeah, as I've got older, Lice, I've just lost that rower a little bit. I'm really impatient with all that sort
Okay,
of.
what people think. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just sort of get on with it a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Is how I
fair
sort
play.
of operate. Look, let's go to the boxers because this is one of my favorite groups. And again, Lice and Safa, you guys should just meet up, right? And just because you both would really get on, and I could tell that from before. Ali as well, mate. Ali, that's a really high boxer score. That's interesting. But Lice, go first. Over to you, mate. Talk to
Just
me.
on that, you said, what were your parents doing? And you're like, did they not like give you any compassion or something?
Well, Lice, if you want to go there, I'm not gonna run. No, it's a good one. It's a good shout. If we want to have
Yeah.
that, like we lost our dad when I was 15.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so again, shit happens and stuff. And yeah, I guess we had to all toughen up a little bit. We lived on a council estate, but that's a great observation that me and Ali don't have rower skills. Ali is one person, I don't want to embarrass him, that if I want to get anything done, I'll just go to him and my sister. They both actually. Ali was managing a team of about how many people? 40 people at Amazon globally.
60.
All these 60, these geeky data analysts all around the world, senior jobs, all on like 100+ salaries. And his ability to row and manage them using Dream Team was powerful because he adapted his style to them. And I think he got some amazing awards at Amazon because of his ability to manage the team so well because of his rower. And there you're just saying of course he hasn't got like a 0, but I know his ability to sort of get things done really quickly is his superpower as well. Ali, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say it's hard sometimes because when you're looking at the things in the survey, there's actually you can answer it from a work and a non-work point of view.
Yeah. And
actually, when I was looking at it from a non-work, if I was, I don't know, like managing something outside of work, no, I wouldn't be like that at all. Because so I think it really depends. And it also really depends on the type of people you manage as well, because I was managing a team of data scientists who, for them, the kind of the rowing and the being nice and friendly was be direct and tell me what you need so that I can grow and develop and be good at my job. And then that can be rewarded with I get promoted. And that is me now connecting to you. But I'd say probably the biggest thing is, I left Amazon like 3-4 years ago. I still have people from Amazon who contact me that didn't even report to me. And they'll just be like, can we just like have a chat because I saw in your team X worked really well and I'm struggling with that. Like I literally have someone about 2 months ago contact me, say, by the way, I think you left as I was joining, but everyone said you were really good at X.
Oh wow.
Those were all rowing things, but it's it's strange. It was never something I was consciously thinking about.
I think you three, I think definitely go across all four. And that result shows, like again, stuff I want to hear from you, but let's just go to you first. Your results are really uncannily like I'd imagine. So you're in quite a senior role at Centrica. You're head treasurer of a big division there. You've got to come up with ideas. You've got to be able to box, and that would frustrate you if you're on hour-long calls, mate. That is ridiculous. They should know that.
Yeah. So to put it into perspective, when you work in a business and you have to work with IT, and it gets very bureaucratic, sort of back. And it's just an example. So I was there for a year, and I just thought this process is horrendous. So I just recruited my own sort of full stack developer and architect, and we just did stuff that was taking 5 years in like 6 months, basically.
Wow.
Full control sort of thing. And now they've rolled out that that model, if that makes sense.
Amazing.
So I'm like you.
Amazing.
I just get really, really impatient, and then I've
Yeah.
got the idea. It's just that when I
Amazing.
can't deliver it at the cadence that I want, I just get really frustrated. But
Yeah.
I guess I've got like 15 people now, and we've been through a couple of redundancies. So I've had to develop the sort of rower, and then because
I love the way you held your forehead as you said that. I've got a bloody do the rower.
yeah. So I don't really value that. My wife would be an 8 on a rower, and so that's
Wow.
why we conversation. And then
Yeah.
on the archer side, I don't mind getting in. So when it's quieting down, I don't mind doing a bit of coding myself. I get a lot of satisfaction out of taking something that is not there and delivering it.
Amazing.
Subsequently, you see what I mean? So yeah,
Well,
I mean,
you and Ali sound really similar. You guys should definitely connect after this. Actually, I think you have lots to sort of share.
that's fine.
No, that, but
Well, I was going to say actually what Lysander described there. That's pretty much exactly what I did at Amazon. When I was trying to get something delivered and I couldn't get it done through the engineering team, I just hired those types of people into my team and said they're data scientists, and they weren't, by the way. I was just like, but it's never going to get done if I wait. And this was Amazon where things got done quickly, but I was like, I can't wait 3-6 months. So I'm going to hire them, say they're data scientists, but they've got real engineering backgrounds. Then I'm going to get done what I need to get
so
done.
look, that's classic boxer. It's classic boxer, that desire to sort of really move things at a certain pace. But it looks like you're technically both good. Ali, I know you got a master's in operational whatever, and Lys, you were like engineering and stuff. So you're both obviously got that technical ability. And as you've got older, you've developed some of these sort of more softer skills as well.
And that's what Alexander was saying was very interesting, because I think what tends to happen, at least from what I've seen, is that if you are in a technical environment, right? Above all, if there are scientists and engineers who have been accustomed to think in terms of processes, you then tend up to generate bureaucracies, and that can kill a business if you're trying instead to do something fast. So I've seen that you need some people that are not too engineering focused and they can just move things along, because otherwise you get people that create processes for the sake of it.
And Gabby, that's sometimes the archers who are like, well, wait a minute, we've got these processes in place. Why are you trying to change it? Right? And you have to almost empathize with them and try to get archers on your side, is if that is not one of your sort of strength areas.
And certainly one thing I was just going to add very quickly, if I think about my team at Amazon, my highest performing people, if you remember when you did the survey with us, my highest performing people were actually the data scientists who scored highest on the rowing section.
Oh, wow. Really interesting.
The reason for that was because if you can be a boxer and technical in a technical space, you're good like everyone else. But if you can actually have that,
have the people skills,
in the technical side, then you're really going to flourish.
Yeah, that's actually a really, really good point. Yeah, you just they don't have those skills, right, some of the time, which is brilliant. No. Safa, do you want to just talk through your very blended results as well?
Well, like I said, last time I did it before today, I got an equal of 3 everywhere. But it seems like today I'm more of a boxer. But I feel like there's more pressure on us because we're scoring like in all 4 archetypes, because we kind of have to be good in these 4 areas. Like I can't tell people, well, sorry, I'm just a creative person. I cannot connect you with other people. I cannot look at the details.
Yeah, no.
I think
look,
you said earlier that you're a chess player and you're not good at like looking at the details, but like someone who got the results like I have may have like more pressure in trying to be good in these 4 areas.
Look, just to be clear, right, this I just be like, take the language of the pinch of salt. It's not about you have to be good at all these 4 areas. Like if you spike in one area, I would rather have a team where I've got people who spike 12 at like 6 and 6. I would rather have people like, for example, like where Lys is like chess player boxer, 2 really strong areas, 2 really strong areas in that part of the thingy. I think that's really powerful. And I'd have lots of people who spike in their areas, if I'm really honest, because then I've got a team full of football players who are exceptionally good at defending, not really good at striking, really good at midfield and not good at the other areas. So actually, it's not about going across all four, but the fact that you do is a massive
Well,
result.
that was going to be my question. Should I like focus more on 1-2 archetypes rather than trying to, I mean, I didn't think about like the survey very much. I just answered the questions, and it turns out
No, my advice, what Gallup says is that if these are your strengths, play to your strengths. They should become super highways of your neural systems that you just start to do really, really well because you repetitively do them all the time. It's not about I'm not good at Archer, let me work on it. It's about actually I recognize I'm in my 40s now. I recognize that's not a strength. Why don't I, as Ali and Lice was saying, why don't I bring in someone who helps complement me in that skill area rather than I try to develop it myself? Yeah. And look, that's up for debate as well, but we can sort of discuss it. Guys, just keeping
Hanan's got her hand
Oh
up.
yeah, Hanan. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say something because Safa, when you said that there is higher pressure on us today, I recall that when I answered the survey with the other method, I think that I went through it similarly as Safa did. So I was just thinking what I need just to be good in everything. Okay, so yeah, I was still mostly rower, but I had the rest somehow similarly divided the points. But when I filled in this survey, I gave myself the permission to be myself, really to be myself.
100%.
So I answered by my heart, by my intuition, and I believe that this is the reason why my results are different to the past in 2006. And when Safa said what she said now, I realized that she's right. Safa is right.
Yeah. Yeah, look, this is all really insightful. I'm learning about this as well. Look, I'm not a master of this by any means, but having these conversations reminds me actually, people have got really different perspectives. Guys, I'm just going to just zip through these. So I think you get this now. I don't need to explain this. This is the chess player, right? These are the typical attributes of this. Hopefully by now you've locked this into your head, who your individuals are. Bill Bowerman. Bill Bowerman, does that name mean anything to anyone? Should do for a few of the athletes here. Co-founder, one of the founders of Nike. He would experiment like a chess player. He would take his trainers and he would make them out of kangaroo leather, velvet skin, deer skin, snake skin, fish skin. He would just experiment. And that was his crazy, right? He wasn't like, oh, wait a minute, this might not work. Or no, he's like, fuck it, let's just try it, right? Let's make it happen. By the way, Safa, are you recording this as well? I was going to ask you.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you are. That's fine. Yeah, I won't swear too much. I'll try to keep it down.
And roll your sleeves. I'm not sure why your sleeves are rolled up.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that. Yeah, it's my nervous habit. Yeah, I should look professional. I should have put a shirt on, shouldn't I? And so yeah, Bill Bauman, classic chess player. Safa, your sleeves are rolled up as well. Stop being so sexist. I'm only kidding. So Bill Bauman, classic example. Archer, I think we get this now, right? Very strong moral compass is what I'd add to the archers in the room. Really strong sense of right and wrong. Once they got their numbers and they think they've done the analysis, like just be careful approaching archers. Don't come up to archers boxer mode and just come up with crazy ideas. Come to them with numbers. Yeah, that's how you adapt your style to archers. Yeah. And then a classic example, I love this story. Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, was once found in a McDonald's in the 50s or 60s, whenever it was around, with a toothbrush, and he was cleaning. You know the mop, you put it in and you rinse it in the thing with holes in it. He was cleaning the holes of the bucket where you rinse your mop with a toothbrush. He goes, that's the level of attention to detail that I want to bring to the organization. And that's why he had the cookie cutter approach. Everything was it had to be exactly the same. Again, the Archer, absolutely critical player. My quick 30-second story in the Archer. I was once working when I was at Deloitte. There was a malware attack on Maersk. Maersk is a really big logistics company. If Maersks get affected, a third of the world's logistics stop, basically. Maersk got affected. Their CEO called up the head Deloitte consultant partner on a Saturday night and said, he basically said these words, can you bring the equivalent of, I don't know what Deloitte called them, can you bring the equivalent of your archers? We want 60 of them spread out across different parts of our globe Monday morning. We want them there Monday morning. We want your archers, is what he said. We need your people who've got great attention to detail that will help us identify where this malware attack happened. Critical people. Important to have them in a team, right? And boxers, look, you get this, right? With a boxer, what I'd say, and again, boxers in the room, Ali, Lysander, tell me if you think this is true, but you're comfortable with difficult conversations. Actually, you'd probably rather someone comes up to you and has a bit of a difficult conversation. Whereas for the rowers in the room, like Hanan, like having that confrontation typically, and I'm talking generalizations, typically is something that you sort of go into. Hanan, I think you've got your hand up, which I don't notice, but go for it.
No, it was from...
from before. That's fine. No, that's fine. So yeah, and boxers, again, typically value speed of thought and execution and want to work at a sort of pace. And for me, classic boxer, good old Steve Jobs, right? Classic boxer. He wouldn't hesitate to call out one of his colleagues if he sniffed mediocrity or a lack of preparation from any of his colleagues. He would have that BC, that very difficult conversation with them at all times. And then last but definitely not least, the rower. As you know, right? A huge empathy, want to put themselves on other people's feet. Again, with your rowers in your team, row with them, adapt your style to them. And I think I've got a little video of another football example. We've got Carlo Ancelotti here, and I'll see if I can find the right link to this one. Here it is. Let me know if you can hear this still, guys, as well, yeah? Let me know if you can still hear this. Give me a second. I'll play this now. A second. Can you hear that?
No, we can't hear that.
Can't hear that. Annoying. Give me a second. Just stop sharing for a second, and then I will go back to sharing again.
You remember, Sunny, we've done the test before. There's something that
click on that. Yeah, it's also. So I'm clicking that now, and I'm gonna go to the entire screen again. So I have clicked on it. Share your audio. Entire screen. That one. Share. Hopefully it will work this time. Let me know if you can still see the screen. You should be able to see my LinkedIn now. Yeah, and then hopefully
be a journalist.
Yes.
Brilliant.
It's your job. It's not what you are.
It's not what defines me.
Huh?
Yes, you're right. I'm not defined. I'm not just a journalist. To your point, I'm a human being.
You are a man. Exactly.
Yeah.
You are a man. Maybe I don't know you, but as a man, but I would like to know you and to build a personal relationship. This is what I did with not only with the player, with every people that are working here.
You know all of their names, Carlo?
Of what?
Their
the
names,
players.
the players, and they have family.
This is difficult to say because for my age I start to forget names, and so after 3 years I have difficulty